So this right here is one you're absolutely gonna love. My healthy vegan veggie ground sausage patties. And for those of you who wrote me and said that you couldn't find a good store-bought sausage patty that's also healthy, I've solved that problem, because today I'm gonna show you how to make your own. All right, welcome to the Make Your Own Cooking Show. For those of you who don't know me, I am Javon, and what I do is make healthy vegan versions of your favorite foods using minimal processed ingredients with no oil, no wheat, no refined sugar, and no rice. Today, I'm making a delicious, healthy vegan sausage ground. Let's talk about what we're gonna use to make it. For the base, I'm gonna use some cauliflower, some white button mushrooms, some walnuts, which are my favorite nuts because they're so healthy, and yellow onion. These foods are what is gonna comprise the base and give this recipe its texture. Let's talk about what's going to give it its amazing flavor, the spices. And for that, I'm using some red pepper flakes, some fennel, some sage, some garlic, some nutmeg, some thyme, some black pepper, and some coconut aminos, and we're going to use some tomato paste. We're going to combine these ingredients to make the best vegan sausage you've never had. Let's get to it. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is process our veggies, starting with our cauliflower. So I'm going to get that put into my processor here.
So the ingredients that I use for my veggie ground sausage are similar to the veggie ground beef. The difference being that I'm using button mushrooms instead of portobello, and I'm not using carrots. But the true difference are the spices. The spice blend that I use for my veggie ground sausage give it an incredible taste that's very reminiscent of the flavor of breakfast sausage.
Okay, so I've got my cauliflower chopped up, and this is about how you want it to look. All right, so now that's ready. So the next thing we're gonna chop is our button mushrooms. So let's do those.
Please watch closely and notice the size of the veggies after I chop them. When you're chopping your own, you want them to be really close to the size that you're seeing here.
Okay, so now I've got my mushrooms chopped up, added to my cauliflower. And as you see, this makes a lot already, a lot of substance already. Next thing we're gonna do is chop up our onions.
If you're enjoying this video, please like and subscribe below.
All right, so now we're adding one of the healthiest foods there is, and one of my favorites, I eat them every day, walnuts. And to my walnuts, I'm gonna add another one of my favorites that I eat daily, tomato paste.
And I eat them every day because they're both so healthy for you. Walnuts are so heart healthy that even Dr. Esselstyn recently gave them the stamp of approval in moderation.
Okay, so now I've got my walnuts and my tomato paste processed and blended. You want to leave it kind of coarse. You don't want to over blend this because this is a part of the recipe that's going to add a lot of texture. In fact, I'm not going to add it to my raw veggies right now. Once we get this cooking and towards the end of the process, that's when we add in our walnut and tomato paste mixture to add some texture and flavor at the end. All right, so next we're gonna cook our veggies. Now, a lot of you might be thinking, well, don't you need some oil in the pan? And typically what I would do to replace the oil is I would add something like broth or some water. But because these veggies exude so much water, I don't need to do that. What I do need to do is start them on medium heat instead of high. And after they cook and start to exude some water, then I'm gonna turn the pan up to cook them a little faster and let this water get out and dissipate and have exactly what we want with these veggies, okay? Let's get started.
So as I dump these, you can see that this is a lot of vegetables, but as they start to exude water, they're gonna cook down and it's gonna be a lot less volume. Now pay close attention, I'm gonna show you what to look out as far as the water level goes.
Okay, so now I've been cooking my veggies long enough for them to start to exude some water. And I wanna show you that here. If I pull that back, you can see that the water is there. And at this point is when I wanna turn the heat up higher to make that water dissipate. And so that's what I'm gonna do right now.
If you're enjoying this video, please like and subscribe below.
Okay, so I'm at the point now where I've cooked my veggies down. Now remember when I put the raw veggies in, it filled up the whole pan, it was nice and full. But now I've cooked them, they've exuded lots of water, so they shrank down to this capacity. And now you can see that when I move them, there's no water. That water has cooked out. And it's at this point that you now want to reduce your heat or shut it off altogether if the water is really dissipated. And then we're gonna take it to the next step. Let's do it.
So now we take it up to the next level by adding some coconut aminos and some spices. And I tried several different spice combinations before I came up with this one, and I think it's absolutely perfect. It creates a true authentic sausage flavor. Remember guys, you won't miss the meat if you know how to spice the veggies.
Okay, so I've added my spices, and man, does it smell good in here right now. It always does once you put those spices in there and the aroma starts to fill the air. I've cooked it down to where it needs to be. The last step in the process of making this delicious veggie sausage ground is adding our tomato paste and walnut mixture. That's what we're gonna do now.
And adding this mixture is what gives us a lot of flavor and it gives it texture. Now it's kind of pasty and sticky, so it takes a little effort to mix it in, but be patient and get it mixed well. And I want to mention that if you like a spicier sausage, you could add more red pepper flakes, or if you like it milder, you could omit them all together. And look at this, guys.
All right, guys, so now we have our finished result. I've mixed everything in, and this is what it looks like. Now, a lot of you who are watching this video that have made my veggie ground or seen my veggie ground video are probably realizing that this process is really, really similar. And it is. The thing that distinguishes this from the veggie ground is that we seasoned it differently. Plus we changed a few of the base ingredients, but it's really similar. But this really has more of a veggie sausage type of flavor. It's absolutely delicious. And now we got to make something with it. Got to make something with it and give it a taste. Let's do that. All right, so I thought the thing that I would do with this veggie sausage ground is the most traditional thing you can do with a veggie sausage, and that is make sausage patties. So I'm going to bond these into sausage patties. Now, if you've seen my veggie ground recipes where you make the veggie burgers and the veggie meatballs, I use chickpea flour and flax, ground flax, to create a mixture that'll bond those together, and it works well. But I've been experimenting and I found an even better way to bond the veggie grounds, be it the veggie ground beef or the veggie ground sausage. And I'm going to show you that today. Now, when I'm bonding this, I'm adding things like chickpea flour, which are very neutral. And because I'm adding some things that are neutral, we need to add back more flavor. So you'll see that some of the spices that I use to create the veggie ground, I'm going to be using more of those spices when I make the veggie ground sausage patties so that we keep that flavor amped up. So what we're going to be using to make these veggie ground sausage patties are some thyme, some sage, some ground fennel, some red pepper flakes, some garlic granules, some arrowroot powder, some psyllium husk powder, and some chickpea flour. Okay, so those are the things we're going to use to bond this. Works really well, leaves the veggie ground sausage with a really good mouthfeel, a really good texture, and we're going to keep that flavor by adding back some of our seasonings. Let's get to it. I can't wait.
This particular blend and ratio of arrowroot powder, chickpea flour, and psyllium husk powder is my favorite combination for both texture and flavor. Now, it's important to get the ingredients well mixed, so don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. And you know, making this recipe feels kind of surreal. When it comes to veggie ground, bacon, and sausage, I would have never believed that I'd be able to make my own.
All right, let's get them in the oven.
That makes sense. I wouldn't.
All right, so I've got my healthy vegan veggie sausages plated up with some delicious pancakes and some fruit, and I can't wait to get to eating this. But first, I want to taste the sausage. For you, of course. Mmm. Yes, so good. The flavor is great, the texture is great. Oh, I mean, you're gonna love these. You gotta make these. Healthy vegan sausage. Make your own. So I've had a lot of people write me and ask me how to find the recipes to the videos to my cooking show, like the one you just watched. If you're having trouble finding the recipe, look below the video and you'll see the word more. Tap on the word more and you'll see the beginning of the recipe. Tap on the word more once again and you'll see the full recipe, and then you can begin to make your own. Thanks for watching.